Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, wherever you are watching from. I am Philip Oladejo, the Executive Director of the Global Business and Authors Award United Kingdom. I'm pleased to come your way again this time. Today is the 1st of October 2023, and I'm so excited because it's amazing how times have just flown, as they say. So, this very evening, I have special guest in the studio talking about the fate of the Nigerian youth in this century as we celebrate the Nigeria independence. The Nigeria independence. It's very refreshing to look back and see how when Nigeria gained independence and the improvement, the development, and the impact that government parastatals have made in the lives of the youth, and great things that's been happening in the country. As we all know that just like with every other nation or that country, there's always a challenges, opportunity, threats, and the issues that we need to explore. So, and this is not just peculiar to just Africa, Nigeria. The youth, the issues with the youth, cut across the globe, the United Kingdom, and the United Nations, and the UK, the US, in Europe. The issues with youth cut across the globe entirely. So it's not just peculiar to the African nations, but we are just looking at the fate of the Nigerian youth in this century. In this century, what is the fate? What are the fate, or rather, of Nigerian youth in this century? Especially as we celebrate the independence, what are the opportunities out there for our youth? And these are the subject we'll be exploring tonight, on what can the government do to help assist, support the youth, empower the youth to ensure that the youth are flourishing. I'm a proud Nigerian, and I know that Nigerians are doing great things across the globe. So I'm so proud to be hosting these amazing people I have with me. Honorable Segun Amure, and also have Mercypraise Ninan as well in the studio. And then also the thank you to our producer as well, Namayawa, for the great job that she is doing. Now we have in the house Mercy Praise. In the house, who is going to be my first speaker, and also going to have Honorable Segun Amure here as well. So please welcome to the program, Mercy Praise.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me. And happy Independence
Us,
Day.
happy Independence Day. Good. How are we feeling in Nigeria right now?
Well, the weather is quite fair. It rained today, but it's really a cool weather, so we're very well.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now we have Honorable Segun Amure here. He's been with me before. I like our first meeting, our first conversation. It was very productive. Good evening, Honorable Segun Amure. How are you?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, the world. Good evening, Nigerians. Happy independence.
Good. So, are you two from the same state?
No.
Okay. so let me know, Honorable Sheku, what state are you now currently?
Okay, I'm in Osun State. That's my state, and I
Also
reside
state.
in the state.
Okay, and Mercy Praise.
Well, coincidentally, I'm currently also in Ocean State.
Okay, awesome, 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 good stuff. And I read through your story, very, very fascinating, very interesting. And I know we had a quick chat, and we're going to explore that. So
All right.
happy Independence Day to Nigeria. So I want to just start by introducing myself. I'm Philip Oladejo, the Executive Director of the Global Business and Authors Award United Kingdom. It's always a joy for me to have people on my program, interview them, just try to explore an opportunities. And today, I've been in Nigeria myself, and I'm so excited. I'm so pleased. I mean, I have been to. I was in Nigeria, I think, 2 years ago, which was my first time after 20 years, I believe.
That was homecoming.
And I'm sure by the time I'm going to visit Nigeria next time, I'll be able to visit Osun State by God's grace. So
No problem.
let's get started. Introduce yourself to the world.
All right. Thank you very much. And hello, world. So, I am Mercypraise Ninan. Currently pursuing a degree in occupational therapy. I'm in my final year. But apart from that, I am someone that has interest in people development because I believe that it is the major bedrock for actually the eventual societal development. So, focusing on SDG goals, I focus on quality education because I think with that, it links directly to people development and eventual societal development. So I currently run an organization, Project Edway, where we reach out to young children. We help. Our major aim is to shift mindsets of young persons
Okay.
from being from the ideology of not chasing values and not developing self. So we help shift mindsets of persons to think, to see that actually there is so much reward in investing in yourself, in value, in education, and in innovation, and in investing in self generally. Because most times we've seen a lot of persons, I've encountered a lot of persons personally, young children that will tell you, I do not want to go to school. I don't care about reading. I mean, it breaks my heart because I see that there's actually a gap in their mind that has not seen the value in these things. And here is actually the solution to a lot of problems in society. So we do that. We run campaigns, we run outreaches to schools and to streets, or to the streets also. And then we help students who cannot afford trainings or school fees. We help them by raising funds for them. So that's what we do basically. Yes. So that's just a summary of who I am. Thank you.
Wow, I love that because I have passion for children and I have passion for youth. Me personally, I like to see people thrive. I like to see people making it. I like people to succeed. So I like what you're doing. We're going to delve into that because we need to. I think I like what you're doing. We need to try to rally some support for what you're doing and see how we can generate that. So yeah, Honorable Segun Amure, I like this man. He's very intelligent, eloquent. He's ever ready. He was born ready. Please give us a little bit of. I know you, but just for those who are meeting you for the first time, just a little
Okay.
information about yourself.
Yeah. Good evening, world. Good evening, Nigerians. The one good evening to the people of my state. My name is Segun Amure. I'm privileged to be the Special Assistant Media and Digital Communication to the Deputy Speaker, Osun State of Assembly, Right Honorable Akinyode Abidemi Akinyode. Before venturing into politics, I had a passion for academics. I, at 23, became an assistant lecturer at Federal Polytechnic, Ida, Kogi State in Nigeria.
I think the line is frozen. Yeah, so we're just gonna wait for. uh yeah, yeah, the network issues. So yeah, we. So Honorable Sheku is
That
just
I
trying
was
to.
a
Yeah,
student journalist while
okay,
on
it's back.
campus.
So a little bit of interruption there because of the weather condition in Nigeria. So we're just gonna.
Independent.
Okay.
It's sad that on Independence Day we're being interrupted. Well, I have a lecturer, like I said, and I've left academics. I'm a journalist. I was in 2020 the media representative of Crescent TBC, an NGO based in Florida that gives hope to people living with sickle cell. I love that I became a special assistant to my boss, the Deputy Speaker, to help drive home the good goal of His Excellency Senator Ademola Jackson Regional Delegate and give the dividends of democracy, not just to the youth, but to the good people of Osun State. Thank you so much.
Wow, I'm actually inspired. I know we had a bit of an interruption there. Listen, two of you, I must confess, you are inspirations, honestly. And we're hoping to, and I know we have so many inspirational individuals, youth in Nigeria, and we're trying to increase that, and also trying to get the Nigerian government, the state government, to look at these areas of developing youth, because youth are the future of tomorrow. And I actually like the poem. That poem, that was a powerful poem. Do you know what I mean? Why do you call me youth? Why are you referring to me youth? Because when I was 10, I was referred to as youth. When I was 15, I was 20. Even at the age of 45, 50. You still are not able to. It didn't. Let me not just go into it, because I don't know why. Even when you are 50, they're still calling you youth. We're going to delve into that one. Let me just ask Mercypraise Ninan, what prompted you into what you're doing?
Well, that's a very great question. Thank you so much. Ah, you know, um, while in school here, I'm studying at Obafemi Awolowo University in
Right.
Nigeria. So a lot of times, a lot you see, we see a lot of young children come to talk in classrooms.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, and it's usually early hours of the day till afternoon. And I wonder, are you not supposed to be in school? I mean, you look like a very young, bright mind. And, there's so much you could do. Why are you coming to up biscuits, granules,
Mm.
peanuts at this time? And so, most times, or not all the times, but when I had the opportunity to walk up to these children, I asked them what's going on, and then have an overview of what's going on. So over time, I kept seeing that repeat itself all around me, young children just, and this,
Mm.
if like they say, it's a very popular saying that the an idle ant is devil's workshop, and
Yes.
also a potential that is
Yeah.
not invested in, that is not set into kinetic energy, is not going to, deliver results. And so, if you even really want a society that is thriving, I think we should also invest in the people. So that passion really just stirred me up to start something. So at first, I just woke up to this children. What is your problem? Do you have a guardian? Do you have a parent that I can speak with? What is your challenge? Why don't you want to go to school if you don't want to go to school? What's going on? And then from there, little by little, then I met a colleague studying medicine, and she also had passion, a similar passion. So we merged together, and then luckily in 2021, we were selected for the United Nations Millennium Fellowship. So that gave
Wow.
us, yes, a platform to, launch out. And then we had our first outreach. And it was amazing. We were able to speak with quite a number of children. A little less than 120 in the
Wow.
first outreach. And, we were able to, it was really interesting seeing mindset of children, and then towards the end, we saw that there was actually a shift in their mind after our meeting with them. And that was great for me, and that passion is still in me to ensure that, okay, people actually invest in themselves and become fulfilled, self-feeling, and that way the society itself will thrive. So that's really the bedrock of my passion and my drive for this.
Mercy, what you said there, that really got to me. And this is very, very emotional for me. I grew up in Nigeria too, and at that age myself, I think age 10 or age 15, I was actually working in bakery, and I was working in Ibadan then, from Ibadan then, and I used to hawk for my mom. And when I come back from school, every time, 1 week at a time, came back from school, and I'll go and hawk. And it was difficult. And so when you are saying these, I just hope that people that are watching us across the globe will find that passion, will find that ability to help, to support the children in Africa, especially Nigeria as well. I like the fact that you say you saw the children hulking, because most of them, um, it is what they hulk, it is what they make on that day that the family will feed on. And now we're talking about the fate of the Nigerian youth in this century. And I want to say thank you for that in intuition, that initiation, that you have to say that. And I'm very passionate about the children, especially because they said you are the leader of tomorrow, and That was you were told 5 years ago. And when you are 5 years and 10 years, 20 years, and still age 45, 50, you are still being told that you are the leader of tomorrow. When do you want to become a leader of tomorrow? Is it when you are 70 or 60? So I want to just appeal to our government anywhere in Africa, Nigeria. Help these youth to grow. You can't be saying that we are the leaders of tomorrow at the age of 45, 50. You know, in the UK, as when you are 18, you are classed as adults. At that 18, you already have the job, you have flats, you have your job, you have the government have provision for you. Um, but that's not the case in Nigeria. I want to appreciate all the government, all the governors who are doing their bit, and all the youth like yourself, Mercypraise and Honorable Segun Amure, who are doing you're doing your bit to reach out. So thank you for what you're doing. So let me go to Honorable Segun as well. So you're lecturer and a journalist. How My first question is, how can the youth in Nigeria be encouraged to be resilient? How can the youth be resilient? What are the avenues that the government need to provide to support the youth?
Well, thank you once again for the question. But I think before the government provides an avenue,
Sorry guys, we I think we're just having another breaking due to the weather conditions. I understand the weather condition is unstable. So we're just gonna please just bear with us.
country itself has shown to the youth that
So we're just waiting for Honorable Segun Amure to get back on track. So let me just quickly move to Mercypraise to continue that question. How can the youth
can you hear
develop?
me now?
Oh yeah, you're back. You couldn't see. Yeah, you're back. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you
Yes,
see, the thing is this: there is a general handle in the world that poverty leads to self-discovery. Do you
yes.
understand? Poverty leads to self-discovery.
Mm,
Before the government could help the youth or can help the youth, so to say, the youth must first be aware of the environment. There was a poem I read when I was in secondary school by Professor Bimsola Adeoti, lecturer in OAU, titled Ambushed. The poem describes the country as a giant whale, as a shark that is waiting at the corner to unleash the potential, the future of the youth. So the youth must first discover that it is important for them to make it in life. So when they discover the purpose of existence,
mm,
that leads you to finding paths in a country like ours. We're not going to share the government. Myself, I'm part of the government now.
mm,
But I think the government should stretch its arms, extend arm of friendship to the underprivileged in society.
mm,
I was in that picture before. I was born into a family of four. I was not even born with a silver spoon. I don't know the
mm.
color of the spoon I was born with. But I had to navigate life. Do you understand? I
Yes.
worked with a renting company as a renter that would go there on Friday, we'll come back home on Sunday. I'd gone with my friends to, cut grasses to make ends meet. And so
Mm,
I've worked as a caterer, I've served people during funerals and, some other event. But then that's not the end. It's just a vehicle. It's just a step, to making me who I am today. Now, I'm sorry, I'm going to make, an allusion to my boss. My boss, Deputy Speaker of Osun. When he came on board, I told him, there's nothing that we can do for people in the constituent, in our state, that can stand the test of time if we don't invest into the future.
absolutely.
And that's why we create an academic office. As I speak with you, in the space of 2 3 weeks, we've given admission to over 40 students into tertiary institutions in this country. We believe that we are going to spend 4 years, 8 years, 12 years, 16 years, whatever the number of years we're going to spend in government. These people in the future will stand as testament to what we've done. So government in a nutshell should provide scholarship, should give learning environment to the students. Those are time, in fact, according to the WHO, we have 217 million, yeah, according to Worldometer, we have 217 millions in Nigeria that their future, the fate of their future of their existence is hanging. So government can reach out to them, skill acquisition, formal and informal education, so that they can be great in life. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
wow. Thank you so much for that information, the insights. I want to appreciate the honorable speaker of the house, the
Deputy
chief
Speaker,
deputy
and the
speaker.
Speaker himself, and
Yes.
the Speaker himself,
Wow. For
Right
great
Honorable
job.
Adewale Bedun.
Oh wow! Thank you so much. Please, if you are watching us at this hour, we want to say thank you so much for your support for the youth, for the amazing work you're doing, for the opportunity you are creating. This is kind of people that we want to cover in Nigeria, to see that you are contributing, you are giving back to the society. So let me go back to Mercypraise now. So from that discussion that Honorable Segun has we've had with him now. So, what will be your point of view as to um, building resilience with the youth?
Thank you very much. I would take off from where he stopped because I think
Yes,
I really agree with him.
yes,
Yeah, from my own judgments, I would say that Nigerian youths, first of all, are actually resilient people. A lot of persons rather, are going through a lot of things right now. And if you like, oh wow, I mean, I'm just so emotional about this, but really, Nigerian youths that are, like I would say, are resilient persons, people.
yes,
In
we
fact,
are.
it's interesting how suicide rates in Nigeria has not exceeded more other countries all over the world. Because when you look at the way people are going through a lot, suffering, and people are still staying alive, still staying hopeful, it's really commendable. I think that we as Africans are actually thick-skinned and thick-minded.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yes. So, how can the government then encourage resilience in youth? Hmm. Now, going back to what Honorable Shagun said, he said that poverty leads, if I'm right, poverty leads a person to self-discovery. So,
Hmm.
actually, um, the process of a man or the problems that men go through eventually actually a lot of times push us to discovering ourselves and then becoming, someone that is amazing in the end. Now, on the part of the government to actually what's the word now, encourage resilience amongst youth, I think first of all is to actually celebrate youths that are thriving in their own ways. I think that will go a long way. And I mean, bringing this up, a person that graduates, for instance, in my university or in any other federal university in Nigeria, and then at the end of the day, the person is awarded probably a cash prize of 100,000 naira. And then another youth that is into, whatever, and is celebrated, it already shows that excellence education is not valued. So it doesn't
Hmm.
encourage any youth to actually stay through in school, go through even the strike period. Because here in Nigeria, we go through strike periods. Lecturers go on strike. So what will keep us staying if there
Hmm.
is no encouragement in the end? So I think that government should integrate, celebrating the wins, small, accomplishments and achievements of youth. For instance, integrating like awards to federal schools all over the nation that are very rewarding, and then probably integrating a graduate internship program that brings you together for skill acquisition and for talent discovery and personal development and all that. So I think that would go a long way building resilience, because when people see that there is an end to something, they will stay true with it. So it actually builds resilience in them. When they say, oh, there's an end, or if I stay true, I learn, I develop in myself, I invest in myself, there's going to be an end. That's great. That's
Hmm.
and then also government celebrating startups. you know um we integrating policies that ensures that startups in Nigeria are allowed to thrive. When youths were able to think beyond the box, startups, and then being innovative, and at the end of the day they are celebrated. They're given an environment that allows their business to thrive. That also encourages youth to actually think through all the problems they're going through and then bring solutions, and they know that they will be appreciated, rather than even wanting to travel out, and then
Yeah.
their knowledge skills their knowledge, their skills, and their innovative ideas are then taken to somewhere else to thrive. I mean, so this amongst others are major things I think would help in the Nigerian society to let students, sorry, not just students, youth generally, to be resilient. Thank you.
Thank you for that insight, and I just want to reach out to governments in Nigeria, Africa, government officials that will be watching this program, or that are currently watching, or that will be watching, and those abroad as well, to reach out to Mercypraise and Segun Amure, and appreciate what they are doing, and how say they can do more for the youth in Nigeria. I know that maybe Nigerians, we are very resilient people, we are very strong people,
Yeah.
and anyway you find Nigeria. In fact, if not for that, I think the suicide rate in Nigeria will have been the highest. But we are very resilient people. We are very joyful people. We are powerful people. We are hard to break.
I
we are
totally agree.
we are hard to break. In South Africa, where I heard a lot of things, the little great things that Nigerians are doing in South Africa, and across the globe. We are resilient. We are very tough people. I just want the government and charities across the globe to support yourself for what you are doing, Honorable Segun Amure, and want to encourage more people like the Deputy Speaker of the House, to people, to emulate people like that, important people like that, who supporting the youth. So thank you so much for being. I like to make people's business. I think the government should make the youth business their business. If I could use that word,
That is
if
valid.
yeah, make the youth business,
Yeah,
your
business.
priority, because they are the hope of tomorrow. The one issue that we have in Nigeria, which I've experienced myself, is the issue of continuity. um a government will come and initiate a particular idea, and once that government leaves the government, the idea dies. How can Let me ask two of you, how can the government ensure continuity? Honorable Shagun is smiling already. But let me start with the basic praise, and I'll come back to you now. How do you think the government should? How can the government in the UK here abroad? There's when you start a program, there's continuity basically. From one period another, from one government. In fact, the system is so built in the sense that the country can never fail, the nation can never fail, because the system is there, which is continuity. So when a project ends, a government ends, you won't even feel it. They can introduce changes, but the government ensure continuity. So how can the state government now and the federal government ensure continuity in services?
All right. Thank you very much. This is actually a major problem because we see a government elected today and their project started, even building projects or ideas to inaugurate, and then boom, the government tenure is over, and then the next government comes in and they do not do anything about it. They have their own new initiative. And first of all, the problem is first, usually, for instance, when there is a change of party, because
Yes.
if it was like a current party in government and then the next party comes in, the same party comes in for to take over the mantle, it's usually easier for continuity. But most times, because of the competition in that sense, that I would say, it's more like this government leaves and the government of another party comes in and they want to show that okay, they are um, you know they are the what's the word now, they are the
The
um
better the better
they,
choice.
yes, so they leave off the projects of the previous government and then start theirs. After 4 years again, another government comes. It's just in fact, someone once said that I think we have a lot of policies in Nigeria, but the problem is implementation. So people are
Yes.
bringing different ideas, but they never see it through. And sincerely, for me, I am so oblivious of even what can be done about it. But from my own end, I would just say that um oh my goodness, this is a big question, right? But
Yes, it is.
yeah. So I would just say that what I would say from my own end that can be done to ensure that there's continuity on the side of the government is probably laws that put checks into government. For
Mm.
instance, when a government enters into power, laws that ensures that okay, all that the government has promised when they entered into office, by the time they are leaving office or towards the end, or there is a check that comes in between of their tenure. So probably after a year or after 2 years or at the mid of their tenure, what have they achieved? How has it been established? And What have they put in place to ensure that it would actually be sustainable? I think once that check is put in place, it ensures that government actually fulfills their end of the bargain, and then they are able to, see through to the completion of their own project while in office. I think that's what I would say from my end.
Thanks, brilliant. And also, the government should work collaboratively, whether you are green party, you are yellow party, you are this party, because that will save the resources and that will save the resources, and that will help the youth, and that will help to cut out the waste. And I think and our government, we know you are doing our governors, our deputy speakers, our speakers across the states. We salute you. Thank you for the work you're doing. We want to just appeal to you on behalf of this youth that please let's work collaboratively with the previous or incoming administration to ensure that the whatever service was introduced previously is continuous. It helps the youth and it helps stability. If you have a project that have already started before, it's easier to continue that service. It costs less money as to starting a new one, and it helps the youth as well. So all the governors across the nations, Nigeria, thank you so much for what you are doing from Osun State, Ibadan, Oyo State, Lagos State, and of course, and all the states. Thank you so much, sir, Ma, for what you are doing. Well, let me go to Honorable Segun because he's burning. He wants to say, I know it's your field. It's your field. Now, please tell us,
So,
encourage us,
well,
encourage the government.
well, you see, Mercypraise has said, she has said one of the cogent point that the government needs to do, and that is total support for policies that are worth supporting. We need to stress that there are
Yeah.
policies and there are policies.
Yes.
Now, let me start by saying this. You gave, and I think, a quote that the government should make the business of the youth their business.
Yes.
Now, this comes to the fore of how informed are those that are in government? How
Wow.
informed are the elected politicians? Well, how experienced, how knowledgeable are they, probably in their field before coming into politics? Because you cannot build something tangible on nothing. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, in Nigeria, there's something we call NOA, that is National Orientation Agency.
Hmm.
When I left the secondary school a decade and some years ago, people, I believe some of my classmates are streaming live. If there's anything my mates in secondary school, in fact, in primary school, up to the university, there's anything they knew about me, it is my unquenchable love for politics and helping the less privileged. A decade plus, I established an association, an NGO, that's Voice of the Masses. Most of my friends call me Voice of the Masses because at that time, I've been aware that I have to speak for my people. I have to speak for the voiceless. So, if you're in politics, if you're a politician, you must come with an informed mind.
Mindset.
There must be reorientation on the part of those in government and those that are outside government. There was an article published on The Punch in 2017-18 by Nia Dirikun that said that, the population, the statistics of those that are outside government, they're not in government yet. Those that are outside government waiting to loot the treasure of the nation is far greater than those that are in government. So,
Wow.
number one, we've spoken about the issue of reorientation, dialogue, engaging the youth, engaging the people in government. And the second one, it is this thing we're talking about is just a sad reality. As a student of history and as a government student, we learned about Colonel Kadina Njegu, we learned about General Yakub Gowon, we learned about Jume Ujuku, those who lived a purposeful life, those who serve this nation at their youth age. In fact, it's just the immediate reverse of what we have now. So apart from reorientation, the next thing is there must be what Mercypraise said, I'm going to sustainable plan. There must be a long term goal to achieve them. There is no state that succeeds, no nation, no countries of the world that succeed without the witness of its youth. In my poem published in 2020 rather, Why Do You Call Me a Youth? In that poem, I've given you faces of
Yes.
impoverished status of the Nigerian youth. You have to see the affirmative of backwardness. If someone is 35 years old, not married in Nigeria, no good job doing, no future for tomorrow, at 45 still living in the parent house, at 50 still dependent on the parent, the country is heading nowhere. So apart from rehabilitation, there must be long-term goal. What do
mm,
we do? How do we enlist the youth? There must be acquisition programs, skill acquisition. That's why I kept saying that formal and informal education.
mm. Right. I love those points. Informed decision to help. Informed
Is there anybody that
decision,
will survive by
and
formal
I want
education?
to appeal
Government must be
to.
ready.
Okay, yes, I can. Yes.
Government must be ready to create programs, opportunities for the youth. And aside from that,
Mm,
the youth, Mr. Philip, the youth must be engaged into a national dialogue. You see, the youth
mm,
that we have now, the youth of this dispensation, this generation, they
mm,
are tickling time bomb, are waiting to explode.
mm,
No focus on education, no interest in politics, no interest in national development. They are tired of whatever the country is offering, the country has offered, and what the country will offer. Ask any youth, when you come to Nigeria, ask any youth. As far as it is, ask any youth to mention 10, 20 governors governing in this country. You'll be so dazed to see a ridiculous response from them. Ask them about the policy of government, they careless. So we now have a generation clash between a generation that is interested in governance and a generation that is tired of governance. A generation that is paving way to cybercrime. So government has a lot to do. I'm part of the government now. In my little capacity, I'm part of the government. We need to reach out to the people, to the youth, that there is future in that work, there is future in believing in the progress of this country, and we have to be together. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your contributions, Mercy Praise and Honorable Segun Amure on this. And I want to just use this medium to appeal to our government. And we appreciate you, we appreciate the fact that you are in government and you've seen what is happening. You've made during the campaign, you made promises, and I know that you might be facing some constraints too. But just want to appeal to us that we make the youth business yours business. Make the youth business your business because the youth are the future of tomorrow. As you've heard, honorables referring to some of our founding fathers, Murtala Mohammed, Yakubu Gowon Femi, Honorable Wulowo, and these great people who have come and they've gone. They've played their role, and now today we are making references to them because
Exactly.
of their contribution. We want to ask our government, and I want to ask these questions: What if you are a governor? You are in government. What would people say? What would you say about your term when you finish? What will people say after your term? When you become an ordinary citizen and they meet you at the airport or they meet you anywhere, what will people say? Would they be able to point to you to say thank God for this governor, as we heard from Honorable Segun Amure, how the government, the deputy speaker provided an opportunity, and there will always be a reference point, a reference being made that this person provided me with an opportunity. I just wanted to be projection as government, as governors, as people in your authority, to be projection and ask ourselves, what can I contribute to the lives of this youth? I came to Nigeria 2 years ago, and from the airport, I was dazed at the state of the nation's youth. It seems I was expecting things to, sometimes we watch movies, and what we watch in movies is not actually the reality of what is on ground. So I want to please, we're pleading with you on this day. We're pleading with you, governors, president, on our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and all the governors, all the executives and government. Please, we are pleading with you to just look at the fate of Nigerian youth. We not just be there to be youth on the elections and be handed bag of rice and money and things like that, and after the election the youth are we're back to square one. Please, we want to appeal to you. Let's think about tomorrow. Let's think about the future. Let me just quickly go to this a couple of things I've got from people. So what are the opportunities? We've talked about that. What opportunity do we have currently? And what opportunities can the government create? Government at all levels. What are the current opportunities in Nigeria now that the youth can that are available for the youth? And what can we propose? I know we've said so many things, but in the short term, what are the opportunities that the government, the governors can provide? Let me start with Mercypraise.
All right, thank you very much for your question. So the question is in twofold. First, what opportunities can the government provide for the youth?
Yes.
And the second is what
what opportunities are there right now, currently?
yes.
And because we know the government is only about 4 years, 8 years, or I don't know if they do 3 years, three times in Nigeria, but I can't remember.
Only the legislature goes as long as they want to.
Okay, so what opportunities are there currently, and what can the government do in the short term?
Okay. All right. So nice. I would like to start by saying this, that the real value that the youth need to know is that the value is themselves. So I, as a youth, I would say that I am the value.
Mm.
And there's this saying that money is a rightful saying that I totally go with, that money goes in the direction of value. And I think that people will always respond to value. So when we as youth see that we are the value and we invest in ourselves, human capital, invest in skills, in knowledge. That's why I'm so, very, interested in that. When we invest in that in ourselves, we become so valuable, we become innovative, we become people that are so much valuable that, when a star is shining in the sky, it cannot but be noticed. So at that point, it draws attention. By the time we begin to invest in ourselves as youths, we are actually the ones eventually creating the opportunities for ourselves that the government now clamps upon. And they says, oh, and then calls them, okay, can we make a partnership with you or something? So when we start being ourselves as youth, investing in ourselves, becoming that value-driven person, then having so much value to give in return, eventually, actually, we will see that in the society, there are opportunities will abound. So eventually we are actually the solution. Because I don't think if we keep relying on government to create the opportunities in themselves, we would head somewhere. Because I'm not saying the government is not working, the government is doing a great job. In fact, even this current government has integrated youth into its system, into a lot of things, which is amazing, and I applaud the current federal government for that. But then majorly, I want us as youth to begin to see that we don't have to wait for a particular government to do something for us. That is my own point here. We could invest so much in ourselves that it draws the attention of the government, and then we begin to they engage us in conversations, right? And then the other part of the question, okay, the opportunities that so that is that. It even answers both questions on both levels,
Yes.
yes. And then finally too, so I think that's just it majorly from my hand.
Thank you so much, Mr. Praise, for that. That as youth, you must see the value in yourself. There are so many opportunities. And when I came back from Nigeria 2 years ago, I started working on my social medias, and I have people who work with me now, work for me. We're doing different things for me, and I want to speak to the youth now that today you can begin to build the value in yourself. See the value in yourself, knowing that you are valuable. There's so many things you can become. You can do so many things on social media, like become a social media manager, become an author, writers, become a freelancer on social media. So the social medias has vast opportunities that are endless. So I want to encourage you, youth, get yourself ready, prepare, look for opportunity, create it yourself, become a valuable persons yourself, and people will come to look for you and invest in you. So look at these amazing people, Mercypraise and Segun Amure. I'm sure before the government before they came to look for you, before they assist you, they saw the value in you. You built that value yourself. So, and I want to encourage all the youth. I know the government have issues, problems, but let's build that value. Become a valuable person. Become somebody that it is impossible for someone to walk past you unnoticed. Build so much value in yourself that it is impossible for anyone to just walk past you without noticing the value that you carry. So let's do until when you become a valuable person, then that value we attract others to say, wow, let's see what this guy is doing, let's see what this lady is doing, and you become the light. And that light always attracts. Light we always attract. So I want to encourage the youth. I know the government has issues, and it's not limited to Nigeria. There are problems everywhere. Even in the UK, there are homeless people here in the UK as well on the street. Even though it's a they made themselves homeless. So thank you for that. So let me go to Honorable Segun. Your point.
Well, I think Mr. Brother has given a response to that. But I spoke on a space days ago, and I said utilizing. It's a new coinage for me. And aside from the normal utilizing, UTILIZING, I coined the U to capital U, YOU, then utilizing. You see, unfortunately, we have to tell ourselves the truth. Nigeria is not a country where the government will tell you that these are opportunities on the table.
Yes.
In fact, the opportunities that are on the table are meant for a particular class. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Do you understand? So it is a battle for survival. I would make a reference to Jack Russell's The Social Contract. The opening line in the preface stated that man or man is born free and everywhere in bondage. That captures the reality of the time we live. So I think the best way is parent and children enterprise. In political socialization, we are taught that family is the first agent of socialization. When I was growing up, I talk a lot. My dad recognized me that I talk a lot. My dad was in electric department in OAE at that time. Because I see my dad come home with documents, materials from the department. I'd long to be a science student. But the teacher spoke to me that you're on the wrong path. You could do this differently. And that is what I do. So, and what the youth doesn't also know is that politics, in or outside politics, what you bring to the table places a value on you, wherever you may be.
Yes.
Even in the church, even in the mosque, even in school, the value you bring to the table matters when decisions are being made.
Yes.
So we need to reorient the youth. Do you understand? It is not until you go to school before you make it. I had a junior in secondary school. I'm sure my deputy speaker is very proud at the moment. From Ife North. My junior in secondary school, in public secondary school. That through all this organization of principals called secondary school football match, she was discovered. She played with Nigeria under 20 at Canada. That should be last year. Alani Jumoke, we celebrated that in Ife North. Even when we were even campaigning, we were not in government there. But the deputy speaker, in his magnanimity, celebrated that. Those are the policies we are bringing to the table. Then we need to identify the people. Parents should be informed beyond being a medical student, beyond being a lawyer, beyond being a banker, because unfortunately, these are the three career paths that our parents have told us 8 long ago. There are
Yes.
commercial students to be a banker, art students to be a lawyer, science students to be a medical doctor. We're in the technological space. Our youth should be technological savvy. When they are technological savvy, there are limitless opportunities in the UK, limitless opportunity everywhere. But how do you convince someone who cannot reach, someone who cannot access the internet, someone? You see, let me tell you,
Mm.
I work with tutorial centers. I've taught in various jam lessons in the country, and I weep for this nation.
Wow.
There's a novel by Alan Patton that's titled "Cry, the Beloved Country." In Nigeria, no state is excluded. It is during jam lesson that students of public and private school are being taught how to operate on a desktop or a laptop. Look at the demography. Look at the population of youth who cannot operate on the laptop. What's the quota of those who are using Android phone? Those are using smartphone. So it seems the country has missed it. Oh yeah, it's redemption. Like Bob Marley said, this is redemption song. This program is a redemption program. You know, government should teach the youth, engage there. Do you want to go into fishing? Do you want to go into agriculture? How can we celebrate talent, stand up comedians? We have so many youths that are breaking grounds there. Even in the football industry, in the entertainment industry, everywhere, Nigerians are progressing.
Yes.
The flags keep flying. You know. So that's why government should make an enterprise with this. Talk to them. Like
Mm.
Mercypraise said, in 2017, I was the University of Lagos. I was the first runner up at the All Nigerian University debate. You know, I was given a suit. Was it a suit? I was given a check of 30,000 naira. I spoke in a national debate, Mr. Philip.
Wow.
I was given 30,000 naira. And I have youth who are participating in Big Brother Nigeria that goes with 120 million. You see, the government, I'm part of the government. The government should that there are counter ways of making it alive. You know,
Mm.
a youth knows that okay, I can open my breast, open my body, and go
Yes.
to BB Nigeria, come out after 3 months and be celebrated. You know, and such a youth has seen those who are the master's degree, PhD degree, professorship, in his neighborhood or our neighborhood who are living like beggars. Let's fix
Wow.
that. So it is a sad reality. The government should close those avenues that distract the show distraction and turn their focus here. And I believe we're going to have a progressive nation. Thank you so much.
Wow, wow, wow. I love this discussion this evening. The first is that we need to look inside first, look at the value that you have within you, and begin to leverage on those values and skills and
Excellent.
opportunity. And the government should look to celebrate, youth who are doing great. To imagine somebody who participated in an event, a global, a national event, and was given 30,000 naira. It seems to me that the times are changing. God, are those days where you be celebrated for being the best in debate, for being that, but the time has now changed. I want to just encourage our government to look into resuscitating these
Exactly.
values in the society, because people are discouraged
In
the way
fact, Mr. Philip, sorry,
yes,
sorry,
yes,
sorry to cut in.
yes,
In the
go
House
ahead.
Assembly last week, I
Mm,
have to commend the Honorable Speaker, right on Badewale Egbedu. We had a bill on, regulating lotteries and gaming in the state. That's awesome. Now, you look at the youth who is being given 100 naira, 200 naira, 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira, goes to gaming society, stake a game, Man U versus Arsenal, place the bet on that, lost that money, and went on thing for another. So there could be innovations, maybe gaming on history of the country, questions, quiz, all this national value, communal history, and you place a huge sum on it. Who recite Nigerian anthem, when was this made? Place a price on it. They need to participate, and we're going to rechannel their focus.
Oh, thank you. So, our government, please, we are reaching out to you. This is Philip Oladejo here, the Executive Director of the Global Business and Authors Award UK. And it's always a pleasure having great people on my show and engaging. So, I want to just please appreciate my two guests today, Mercypraise and Honorable Segun Amure. We've spoken, for quite a while now, and I've learned so much again today. We just want to just pass this information across to our government at every level. Engagement with the youth, not just during the election time. Engagement with the
Exactly.
youth. Look at the future of the country. Look at the future of the nation. Let it be said about you what you did during your time in the office. Let it be remembered about you that because of you, youth in a particular area, they did not go to bed without food. That let it be recorded about you that while you are in the office, that youth in your areas are able to feed. They were able to wear clothing. I remember those days years ago in primary school in Nigeria. Then, I think we normally have free book notes, exercise books, free tea in those days. That was ages ago. Ages ago. We can
In
bring
fact,
those.
permit me to inform you
Yes,
that by Thursday, October 5th, I'll be
yes.
celebrating the World Teachers Day. The Deputy Speaker, in his magnanimity and
Wow.
his ever focused agenda, will be distributing 15,000 notebooks and other writing materials to 7,465 students in Infinite. And 450 notepads, has been printed for the teachers to celebrate them on Teachers Day. What have we done there? We've celebrated the teacher. This is making celebration of the teachers in the constituency, in our constituency, to so that they have the joy of teaching. They've not
Yeah.
had it that way before, but we want to bring them back so that they can focus on why they're where they're.
While they are teaching and they do their job with joy and happiness. So we need to celebrate the teachers also. And I was just want to say before
Teachers
we go,
focus
uh,
on the business of educating the students. There is reward for them.
Thank you for mentioning that. I want to just appeal again to, on behalf of the teachers at all levels. Government, we can do this. Let's appreciate all our teachers. You are in government today because a teacher taught you. Let's appreciate all the teachers from every level, the primary school levels, the secondary school level, the colleges. Let's pay their salaries on time. These are the avenues. I want to appeal to any government looking at me watching this program. Let's play our part. The teachers in your state, let them get paid on time, paid
Exactly.
handsomely, and be recognized, and that will impart on the quality of teaching that the children will receive. And if we can just play our part, we may not be able to solve all the problems, but let us play our part so that when the time is when you're finished, when the time is gone, we can refer to you that this is what you did when you are in government. So when in 20 years, in 50 years time, there are children that can look back and say thank you to the deputy speaker, thank you to the governor, thank you for what you did. So I want to encourage our government, on this Independence Day, let's support the youth and make the nation grow. Thank you so much, my guests, Mercypraise and Segun Amure, for coming again.
Thank you
I'm
so
going to
much.
bring you. I'm going to bring you guys back again because I'm loving what we're doing. And thank you so much,
Thank you.
Segun Amure, for what you are doing.
Thank you so much.
Mercypraise, thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. And all our viewers, please
Go ahead.
communicate the message, share to your government and all our governors. Thank you for what you are doing, but let's do more. Thank you.
Do
And
that.
for me, Philip Olakode from the UK here,
Thank you.
I thank you for the opportunity.
Mercy praise had done independence in our country. She didn't care you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Prince.
Nigerian.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we come to the end of this program now. And so let's get this message across, youth. Let's develop the value in yourself. Find the value, launch out. Do not
Exactly.
let it go. You can do it. You can make it. Celebrate yourself. Bring out the value in you. And I want to hear more news of youth that are doing great things in Nigeria. Until I come your way again, take care. Bye bye now.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips.
Thank you. Bye bye now. Bye
Thank you very much.
bye.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye.